Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we are back to talking about the depraved, what is new. I'm gonna read the title and you're already gonna know why I am internally screaming. Colorado woman who admits to having sex with a 13-year-old and having his baby sentenced. So truly, listen, my standards for journalism online are so incredibly low, just below earth at this point. It doesn't even fit in earth, it's below that. I think I've read enough articles by now from quote-unquote reputable sources that have even spelling mistakes, which is wild to me because you'd think that people would, I don't know, get Grammarly or something, but regardless, having sex is not the term we are looking for. The term we are looking for is sexually assaulted, sexually abused, raped, something that really indicates what happened without consent, because a 13-year-old cannot consent. I don't know for how long I'm gonna have to scream this on the internet, because truly I feel like it's been since what, 2017 that this has been going on? 6 years of screaming. Okay, I'm moving on. A 31-year-old woman who admitted to having sex with a 13-year-old boy and then having his child is headed to jail despite the exclusion of jail time in the plea deal attorneys originally presented. Andrea Serrano of Fountain, Colorado will serve 90 days in jail, excluding 7 days previously served, in addition to having to comply with the original terms of the plea deal. Those terms include 10 years to life on sex offender intensive supervised probation. The amount of time on probation that will be served was not clarified in the courtroom Thursday when sentencing occurred. So let's just back up a second here. 90 days in jail, excluding 7 days previously served. 90 days in jail. Well, actually, should I say 83 because she served those famous 7. Oops. I do not know. I do not understand how it is that we're still having this old and just worn out conversation, because truly, I don't know what puzzle piece is missing for people to understand. Listen, I'm tired of this argument as well, though, well, if a man did it, but let's be real, the sentences we see with men are more severe. If a man had abused a 13-year-old girl, this would not be 90 days in jail. We have seen ridiculous examples, granted, but with women, this pattern has continued for years and years and years, and I really don't know what's not clicking. Sexually assaulting, abusing someone is sexually abusing someone, and no matter what your parts are, truly not. And I think it's really demoralizing for the population generally, but specifically for people who went through something like this, to feel like, oh, if they come out and say something, if a woman did it, it's not going to be taken seriously. Because realistically, yeah, sure, she's getting 83 days in jail. Is that the precedent we want to put out there? That if a woman abuses, assaults a child, what they're going to be thinking is like, oh well, I'll just do the 3 months in jail, I guess. According to Fountain Police, the department started investigating Serrano after receiving a tip on June 27th, 2022. Serrano was arrested after confirming she had a relationship with the teen, according to the police. KKTV spoke with the mother of the victim after the deal was made earlier this year. In the time since the deal was made, she has questioned the exclusion of prison time and remained unhappy with the offer. I feel like if she was a man and he was a little girl, it would definitely be different. They would be seeking more. I feel like because he is not a woman, they are not. They're having compassion for her, the victim's mother told KKTV back when the deal was offered. His mother made similar statements when speaking to the court pre-sentencing, saying that it was a bad example for the community if Serrano avoided jail time, and that she needs to go to jail even if for a small amount of time. I completely agree with the mother, duh, I think that much is obvious, and I do completely agree with the fact that this is a very bad example, like I stated before. It's just putting ideas in people's heads that they can kind of get away with this kind of stuff, and yeah, we can say that it's still jail time, but 3 months of jail time for the trauma you're putting on someone that they're gonna have to carry, they're gonna have to work through? No. Also, you're a danger to children, because if you're doing this with one kid and you seem to be okay with that, you're just gonna get out, what, in 3 months and then start all over again? Then we also have to talk about a little bit of the elephant in the room. There is a child involved. A child has come out of all of this horrific situation. She had a child via a child. The trauma here is going to go beyond this male student. It's going to go beyond that, because if this child ever finds out the circumstances under which they were born, that's going to be a whole thing for them. So I don't even know how this can end in any way well. During the sentencing, Serrano took the stand and said she wanted to apologize to the victim, his family, and her children. The defense mentioned that similar cases have received similar deals in the past regardless of the suspect's gender, and the judge confirmed this was true, but still said he was not convinced jail time was unwarranted in this case. Judge William Mueller said jail time would be appropriate in addition to the plea agreement because of a concern for the message Serrano avoiding time in jail could send to the community. Serrano will start her time in jail next week after being granted a 7-day stay to make sure her children were taken care of. Okay, so the whole thing of mentioning that there were male abusers like this who got similar plea deals, to me just underlines that there's a big problem in the system. Like, it doesn't really work in your favor as an argument, because it would really be like saying, hey, there's this male murderer and he only got 2 days in jail, so it's fair if this female murderer only gets 2 days in jail. And it's like, well, isn't the problem the 2 days in jail though? Isn't that part of the problem? Because yes, women are treated more leniently, and I will die on that hill. I mean, does it really even matter at this point? Shouldn't we be looking for time in jail that makes sense as opposed to what matches up? Like, I think there are bigger reforms that need to be made here. Obviously, that's not going to happen overnight. And considering the lack of progress in the past years, I don't know if that's going to happen ever, period. Maybe that's just me being pessimistic or realistic, in my opinion. Also, the apology. I'm not the one that has to accept the apology, duh. But I feel like it's just such a slap in the face. It seems fake to me. I could be, you know, too biased perhaps, but what are they gonna do with a fucking apology? I don't know. And I don't really think there are a lot of situations like this where an apology does anything whatsoever. But again, I wouldn't know, and I'm not the one who has to accept it. Anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.